Have you ever wondered how elephants use their trunks with such incredible skill, gently picking up a tiny leaf or powerfully lifting a heavy log? Scientists have long been curious about the secret behind this unique ability. In this video, we'll explore how movie-making technology is helping researchers unlock the mystery of elephant trunk movement and how this knowledge could shape the future of robotics. Movie-making tech reveals elephant trunk motions. Elephants move their powerful trunks with precision and complexity, delicately picking up a single leaf as easily as they heft a log. But researchers have struggled to explain how exactly the trunks manage to do so. New research published in Current Biology reveals part of the answer, thanks to motion capture technology typically used to make movies. Paraphrase. Technology usually used in filmmaking has helped scientists understand how elephants use their trunks. These animals can use their trunks in both delicate and strong ways, like gently picking up a leaf or lifting something heavy like a log, but scientists didn't fully understand how they do it. A recent study in Current Biology has begun to explain this by using motion capture equipment. Overall meaning. This paragraph highlights how movie technology, specifically motion capture systems, is being used in scientific research to study the intricate and versatile movements of elephant trunks. It shows how science and filmmaking tools can work together to solve biological mysteries. Paragraph 1. New words explained. Delicately, gently, in a sensitive or careful way. Have to lift or carry something heavy. Struggled, had difficulty doing something. Typically, usually, in most cases. Paragraph 2. Elephants have evolved these amazing organs with an infinite number of degrees of freedom, says lead author and University of Geneva biologist Michel Milinkovic. His team traveled to a South African elephant reserve to study how the animals specifically use that freedom. The researchers taped retroreflective markers to two bull elephants' trunks and put various items in front of them. As the elephants moved the objects around, the researchers filmed them with a semicircle of infrared cameras, capturing how the markers moved in three-dimensional space, similar to the process used for mapping movie actors' movements to computer-generated characters. Paraphrase. Michel Milinkovic, a biologist from the University of Geneva, explained that elephant trunks are incredibly flexible, with many ways they can move. His research team went to a wildlife reserve in South Africa to observe how elephants use this flexibility. They attached special reflective markers to the trunks of two male elephants and gave them objects to interact with. Using infrared cameras arranged in a half circle, the researchers recorded the movement of the markers in 3D space, similar to how filmmakers capture actors' movements to create animated characters. Overall meaning. This paragraph explains how scientists used movie-making technology to study elephant trunk movement in a natural setting. It shows that elephant trunks have a high level of flexibility, and that motion capture techniques helped researchers understand their complex movements. Paragraph 2. New words explained. Retroreflective markers, special stickers, or objects that reflect light back to its source. Used in tracking motion. Bull elephants, male elephants. Semicircle, a half-circle shape. Paragraph 3. An elephant's proboscis, like a human tongue, is a type of muscular hydrostat. It has no bones, so it can move in myriad ways. The new study shows that the bulls combine simple actions, such as curling, twisting, and elongating parts of their trunks, to achieve complex movements. The animals also form pseudo-joints, or rigid sections of trunk, that they can shift from point to point. Paraphrase. An elephant's trunk is similar to a human tongue, because it's a flexible muscle structure without any bones. This makes it capable of many different movements. The new study reveals that male elephants, or bulls, perform complex actions by combining simple ones like curling, twisting, and stretching their trunks. They can also create pseudo-joints, which are stiff parts in the trunk that can be moved around to help with motion. Overall meaning: this paragraph explains the special structure of an elephant's trunk. Since it has no bones, it's highly flexible, like a tongue. Elephants use basic movements in combination to perform complicated tasks, and they can even create temporary joint-like areas to help control their trunks more effectively. Paragraph 3. New words explained. Proboscis, a long, flexible nose or snout, like an elephant's trunk. Muscular hydrostat, a structure made mostly of muscle and no bones, which moves using muscle pressure and flexibility. For example, a tongue, octopus arm, or elephant trunk. Myriad, a very large number, many. Pseudojoints, fake or temporary joints that aren't real bones but act like joints by stiffening part of the muscle. Rigid, stiff, and not easily bent. Paragraph 4. This investigation into how an elephant's 40,000 trunk muscles work together will be invaluable for developing new versatile robots, says Cecilia Laschi, a roboticist at the National University of Singapore, who was not involved in the new study. For roboticists, this is sort of a dream. A team of engineers in Pisa using the study data expects to have a trunk-like robot prototype in 18 months. Paraphrase: studying how an elephant's 40,000 trunk muscles function together is extremely helpful for creating flexible, advanced robots. According to Cecilia Laschi, a robotics expert from the National University of Singapore. Though she wasn't part of this particular research, she says this kind of study is a dream come true for people in robotics. Based on the study's results, a group of engineers in Pisa is working on building a robot that mimics an elephant's trunk, and they hope to have a working model within 18 months. Overall meaning: this paragraph highlights the practical applications of the elephant trunk study. Understanding how elephants control their highly flexible trunks can inspire new technologies, specifically robots that are more adaptable and capable of complex movements. Engineers are already using this research to build such robots. Paragraph 4. New words explained. Investigation, a careful study or examination. Invaluable, extremely useful or important. Versatile, able to do many different things, flexible in function. General summary: this fascinating study reveals how elephants use their incredibly flexible trunks, powered by 40,000 muscles and no bones, to perform both delicate and powerful tasks. By using motion capture technology from the film industry, researchers discovered how elephants combine simple movements like curling, twisting, and stretching to create complex actions. They even form temporary pseudo-joints for extra control. This groundbreaking research not only deepens our understanding of elephant biology, but also inspires the future of robotics, with engineers already working on a trunk-like robot prototype expected in just 18 months. Now answer the questions.
This is Scientific American's 60-Second Science. I'm Karen Hopkin. Ask anyone what an elephant sounds like, and they'll come up with something like this. But some elephants can also do this. And researchers using an acoustic camera that converts sounds into colors have figured out how. The findings appear in the journal BMC Biology. Elephants actually have a few ways they can get their message across. In addition to the traditional trumpet, they also communicate using a rumble whose pitch is often too low for humans to hear.
But then the Asian elephant, and the Asian elephant only, produces ridiculously high-pitched squeaks that seem to come rather from a mouse than from an animal the size of an elephant.
Veronica Bake of the University of Vienna. She and her colleagues set out to locate the source of these unusual chirps.
The only idea that was out there so far was that elephants produce squeaks in the same way as they produce the trumpets.
That is, using their trunk.
So we started out with just observing the facial movements and posture of Asian elephants when they squeak.
First up, a group of 14 adult females at an elephant camp in Nepal.
So first we observed that elephants squeak when they are aroused.
So anytime they get excited or upset.
Then they are easily upset. When there's any strange noise or strange smell, a car passing by in the distance, a dog or a cow coming too close to the enclosure.
They also squeak in social situations.
When they have only been separated briefly and they greet each other again, they burst into exuberant choruses of trumpeting, rumbling, and squeaking.
And even when having a bath. But are the squeaks coming from the trunk or the mouth?
And that is where we use the acoustic camera. With an array of 48 microphones, the acoustic camera can calculate the time differences with which the sound reaches the different microphones and translate it into beautiful rainbow colors, which in the end makes you see rainbow colors coming out of the elephant's mouth or trunk.
And what they found?
The rainbow colors clearly came out of the mouth when the elephant squeaked and out of the trunk when it did the trumpet.
One particularly talented pachyderm, a female called Pauan, could squeak and snort at the same time.
And this told us that clearly the sound production mechanism has to be within the mouth, because otherwise it wouldn't be possible to produce a perfectly fine squeak and a perfectly fine nasal snort at the same time.
The squeak, it appears, is made when an elephant presses air out between its tensed lips, which produces a noisy vibration.
I couldn't find this technique to be described in any other animal except for human trumpet players. They call this technique lip buzzing.
Bake got pretty good at it.
Although I have to admit that it was not that easy to learn, which caused lots of skeptical and annoyed looks on the metro on my daily commute.
Not all elephants make use of this buzz.
In the first study group, only 4 or 14 elephants squeaked, and the ones that did so a lot.
Pauan would start practicing her signature sounds at 4 in the morning, which generally got her the attention she was seeking because
it's extremely annoying.
Studying additional elephants that lived in family groups, the researchers found that when mama is a squeaker, the kids are too.
And that is what made me think that maybe elephants actually have to learn how to squeak and when to squeak from the mother.
Which means that elephants may have something to teach us about the development of human language. And that parents really need to watch their mouths when they're around little ones with big ears. For Scientific American's 60 Second Science, I'm Karen Hopkin.